CZ from Binance said something very funny on Twitter yesterday. He said, every dip, we're going back to zero. Every pump, F me, I wish I bought the last dip. And this is so true. And it's really funny. I'm getting so many messages from people the past few days, past week, and everyone's saying like, oh my God, everyone's saying that the bull market's over because the price is going down. And honestly, it just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh that every time there's a red candle, people think it's over. Every time there's a green candle, they're very bullish again. And it is so important for all of you guys to completely ignore all of the noise that you see on social media. You have to be able to trust yourself before you just do what people say on social media. You will not succeed that way. And this is really something I think a lot of people need to hear right now. Just keep in mind, your brain is set up for immediate survival. Your brain wants to survive now, all the time. And you have to train yourself out of that mindset. You can't let your brain tell you that every time the price is going down, it's going to zero, and every time it's going up, it's going to a million. That's your immediate survival brain working against you. So, in today's video, I want to talk about why this current pullback is likely not the end of the bull market, and why this FOMO wave of the current crypto bull run is nowhere near finished, and why we're likely going to see much higher prices over the next many months, and why most dips should just be a buying opportunity. And that is exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin's price, the market structure that we're in right now, and why it tells me that this run, this bull market, is nowhere even close to being over. I think things are really just starting to heat up for crypto. Now, of course, market sentiment recently has been a little bit uneasy. The crypto fear and greed index is coming back to, a mid-level 55, which I actually think is great. This is perfect. This is what we want to see. A little bit of a reset. Going down here, we can see that yes, we are getting a nice reset on the fear and greed index. And before we get started on talking about the charts, remember, you only have 2.5 days left to get into Patreon at this price. This is one of your final warnings, guys. If you've been thinking about joining, now is the opportunity. You have 2 days left. You get access to my altcoin portfolio. You can join the VIP chat, join the community, and also we do monthly giveaways and you get extra content. Join today. Now we can see that most charts, most things in the crypto market have been following Bitcoin. We've seen a steady pullback over the past 5 days, and now we're kind of seeing a rounding bottom today, and we're coming back up. Things are starting to see a little bit of support, which is nice. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart, as I started recording this video, as I'm recording, we're actually punching back up above 48,000. So we are getting some support since I started making this video, which is pretty cool to see. But of course, that's all just short term. The first thing I want to point out about this chart is that so far, since March, every single dip was just a buying opportunity. Every single dip. Every time. So all the stress that people have in their heads about crypto's price action, in reality, every single dip was a buy the whole time. And I don't think it's any different right now, guys. I think we're still well within this trend. Things are looking really good. What's interesting to me, these two runs so far are kind of similar. They have a similar style of like run up. You have a couple dailies at the top, and then the market bleeds out a little bit to lower prices. And the speed of the run up and the pullback is, fairly similar. The market structure is fairly similar. So what does this tell me? In terms of the market psychology, these two areas don't really seem different. The psychology is almost the same. So I think we're really just getting started here. And even though it is possible that Bitcoin could, maybe pull back to 42K at some point to get a direct touch off of the previous high before, running up again to much higher prices. Even though that is a possibility, I'm really not all too worried about anything that's happening right now, and I'm still long-term bullish. Now, I just want to really quick go back to 2017, use it as a little bit of a reference because the market psychology right now, the situation that we're in is very similar. We just broke the all-time high, and now we have that second breakout, right? And I just want to remind all of you, the short-term volatility is not something you should be focused on. If you had bought Bitcoin on this run after the second breakout above the all-time high in 2017, you had to hold through a massive dump in order to make the epic gains later, right? If you bought here, around 4K, you had to hold through some crazy swings in order to make 350% on Bitcoin from that point. What's happening right now is actually not even as bad. It's really not even that bad. You may have to hold through some crazy swings, but ultimately if you do, you're probably gonna make, a lot more gains in the long term. In my opinion, both of these tops so far are quite similar, in terms of the psychology of what's going on. There's nothing about the market that says that it's a blow off top just yet, right? I think we're very likely going to be running up to much higher levels. But I would just say, hold steady. There's nothing you need to do other than, buy the dip if you want to buy the dip. And something else that I'm looking out for is the volume here on the daily. Until we really get some much higher volume levels, I'm going to remain very confident that we're nowhere near the market cycle top. Usually market cycle tops come in with a lot higher volume than this. That's usually how it goes. So I think we have much higher prices to get to before we hit some sort of crazy, rejection wick area with a huge level of volume. And the way that I see this is that, this last major FOMO phase, this mania phase, could last until June to August. And at some point in the summer of this year, I do expect a blow off top and a major rejection into a bear market. And a lot of people disagree with me on this. They think that we're going to be going all the way until the end of the year, that Bitcoin's just going to trend up all the way until the end of the year, and then there's a bear market later. I think that this is going to happen much faster than people expect. And I think that a lot of people are not going to be taking profits at the right time, and they will end up not making the money just thinking that it's going to take another 12 to 21 months or something. I think we have until June to August of this year, about that time. And the good news is that, I think Bitcoin's price will probably end up stabilizing around where we are right now in the bear market. Probably. That's what I'm expecting at least. And yeah, the ETF that you see on the screen, that's going to be possibly my final top signal. And something else that I was showing you guys, this is the daily chart here with the stock to flow model pulled up. I was a while ago, I was saying I think we're going to run up to 70K, maybe pull back to the previous high before running up again. We'll see if this short-term, medium-term stuff plays out. But ultimately, you guys know that I think we have much more upside coming, and in our trajectory is looking like potentially summer of this year would be the top. That's kind of just where I see it. If the crowd was correct, where most people think it's going to go till the end of the year, 12 months. 21 months or something. They think this bull market's going to be like an entire year long. If those people were right, we would have to see like a larger and extended correction on the way to get that blow off top in December. The trajectory right now is saying summer. So we'll see. Yeah, if we have a 2013 style run where we run up and then go sideways for a while, then go up later, sure. But I think right now we're probably headed for the top near summer of this year, according to our current trajectory, unless something changes. And also just to mention, Ethereum is finding support on its previous all-time high from 2017. This area right now is acting as support. So we're getting the most important support resistance flip, or resistance to support flip, in Ethereum history right now. This is the most important price action we've seen for Ethereum in the entire bull market thus far. And if we can bounce off this level, it's going to make me very confident, guys. I think we would be seeing much, much higher prices from here. You guys already know my thoughts on Ethereum. I think we're going to be seeing at least 5,000 this bull market, and as high as 10 to 20,000 on the higher end. Chainlink is also finding support. We actually wicked all the way down near the previous 2020 high. But we are finding support here, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. A lot of altcoins took a hit recently, but it's still looking fine. I don't really see an issue here. Of course, it's a little bit disappointing. I think we're going to survive, guys. So overall, my message here is that everything that's happening for the price of Bitcoin and altcoins is basically just middle of the bull run type price action. Nothing about this says it's a top. You know, I'll be damned if it is a top. I have no problems admitting if I'm wrong, but I'm just so confident that we have way more upside to go, guys. And don't be scared every time the market pulls back. You got to be able to hold through these volatile swings on the way up. And guys, if you've been thinking about joining my Patreon, you only have 2.5 days left at this price. The price will go up to $50 a month, so if you've been considering joining, you gotta join now, guys. You're gonna save a ton if you join now. And by joining, you do get access to my altcoin portfolio. And basically, you know, the idea is that I always talk about Bitcoin on my channel, and in Patreon, you can watch me manage my altcoin portfolio, which is currently $250,000 in evaluation. And I think by the end of this bull run, this could be upwards of 700 to 1.5 million, depending on how well the bull market goes. Right? Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. So if you want to join me on this journey, definitely join the Patreon. Now remember, altcoins are high risk, but they are high reward. And that's going to be for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash up that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next video.